Everyone, today I'm going to actually show you how you can use the Backtrader framework to backtest your trading strategies in Python. As we know, Backtrader is actually framework, Python framework, which we can use to backtest with data and plot the results to actually see if our strategy is profitable or not. So let's get into this. Right here I have my Jupyter notebook. I created a notebook for today's video. So let's name it backtest video. Okay, so first things first, you need to install some Python packages. Okay, first is the Backtrader package. So what you need to do is to open your CMD command prompt if you are on Windows, and if you are in Mac, you need to open your terminal and you need to say type this in your actual CMD: pip install Backtrader. Okay, after that is going to install Backtrader. Okay, Backtrader Python package on your PC. You want to also pip install yfinance, which as this is our data provider, okay, which we're going to use. Okay, these are all the things you need to install. And if you don't want to do that and install that on your PC, just here in your notebook or in any framework which you're using to run your Python codes, you can just here type it like this: pip install Backtrader, and same for Yahoo Finance, and it's good to go. Okay, so let's start. After you installed those, okay, we need to import them and import their modules here. So we are going to import our Backtrader, okay, as BT. Okay, and we're also going to import Yahoo Finance as YF. Also I'm going to import date and time. Okay, date time. Okay, then this is very important. You need to write this as well: matplotlib inline. Okay, because matplotlib is the thing that we are going to use to plot our data. So make sure to add this here as well. Then we are going to run our cell. Okay, now we have all the packages imported and all the modules that we need. So let's get into it. At first, we need to download the data from our data provider. So I'm going to define a variable called df for data frame. So it is our data frame, which is equal to, we are going to use Yahoo Finance dot download, okay, to download our data. For today's video, let's use Apple stock. So we say Apple, okay, and then we are going to start our data from the date 2010 1/1. Okay, so the 1st of January 2010. Okay, I'm going to download data. Okay, sorry, I needed to add this quotient here as well. Okay, so our download is completed. As you can see, we downloaded our data. Okay, the next step, okay, is to actually feed the data to Backtrader. Okay, what we are going to do now is now we are going to define a variable called data, and then we are going to call Backtrader and use the attribute feeds, bt.feeds, and then PandasData. Okay, and then here we are going to name our data. Data name is equal to data frame. Okay, now after we run this, now we need to add this data, this variable data. So what we can do is we call Cerebro. Okay, before that we need to define Cerebro. Okay, Cerebro is actually the name of the functions that we use for the working with Backtrader. So here you need to add Cerebro as well. So we say Cerebro is equal to bt Backtrader Cerebro. Okay, and then we are going to define Cerebro. And now here we are going to add our data. How? We define the Cerebro. We are going to say Cerebro dot add data. Okay, we say Cerebro dot add data, and in here we give our data name. Okay, so data. So now we successfully added our data, okay, to our backtesting environment. Okay, so next step is to actually see how our data frames are. Okay, so if I run this, so you can see that here these are our datas. Okay, so we successfully added our datas. Okay, so the next step is to add a strategy. Okay, for today's video I'm going to use the basic strategy that the Backtrader website has it on their own website. If you go to Backtrader website, here they have a section called Hello Algo Trading, and in here we have a sample strategy written in Python, which is for SmaCross, for two moving averages crossing each other. We know that. Okay, so for this video, because it's just about the basic backtesting, I'm going to use this sample strategy, but you can write any strategy that you want in Python and then paste it here. Okay, I'm going to use this strategy, and what this strategy is saying is basically we have two moving averages. We have a fast moving average and a slow moving average. Okay, and we can here give a period to each of these. For example, the period that we decided for our fast moving average is 10 days, and for our slow moving average is 30 days. You can change it to whatever way you like. And here this function, okay, is the logic of our strategy. Okay, here in this function we are saying that if we are not in a position, okay, if we are not in the market, okay, then if our crossover is greater than 0, okay, it means if our fast moving average crosses above the slow moving average, here we defined our actual crossover. Okay, if our crossover was greater than 0, then we are going to buy. Okay, and how does our sell works? If our crossover goes under under 0, then we are going to close our long. Okay, so this is our strategy. Now what I'm going to say again, I'm going to call Cerebro. Okay, Cerebro dot, this time I'm going to use the function add strategy. Okay, add strategy, and what is the name of the strategy here? SmaCross. So I'm going to type that, SmaCross, and now we successfully added our strategy. The next step is to run Cerebro. So run, and one important thing is during this process we might face so many different challenges and errors, okay, that we are going to get. Okay, our code might have so many different errors, okay, and we need to debug it. There is no problem when you're writing your code to have any bugs or errors in your code. You need to debug it afterwards. And one of the great tools you can use if you're not very advanced is ChatGPT. Okay, it's very easy. Whenever you face the problem, you can just actually get a screenshot from the error that you're seeing in your code, send the screenshot to ChatGPT and tell it, I'm using Backtrader to backtest, I faced this error, this is my code, tell me the solution, and it will easily fix it for you. But now let's run actually our Cerebro. So as you can see, we have strategy here. We have an error here. So what this error is saying, okay, the problem is if I print our data frame columns, okay, this is the columns of our data frame. As you can see, the data frame contains different tuples, okay, and these tuples are multi-index, meaning that we have two index for each of these tuples. We have close apple, high apple, low apple. What we need to do is we need to remove this apple. We don't want this because Backtrader cannot actually work with the market data that contains more than one index. Okay, so we need to remove the apple. Okay, how we can do that? Before adding our data, here we added our data. Okay, before that, after downloading a data, what we can do is we can say our data frame, okay, our data frame columns is equal to data frame columns, okay, dot get level values, okay, 0. Okay, what it is going to do is that here it's going to only take the 0 index of each of our columns. Okay, so if I run this and then feed my data again, do all of them, and now if here I print my data frame columns, okay, what you will see is, see, it's not multi-index anymore. Okay, our tuple only contains the close, high, low, open, and volume. So we flatten our data. Okay, so now let me run this again. So as you can see, we run it successfully. We debugged the problem, and now Cerebro was run successfully. The next thing for us is to plot. Okay, next part is to plot. Okay, now I need to call Cerebro dot plot. If I plot, let's see what happens. Okay, we get an error. Okay, IPython is not defined. Okay, so what happening is Backtrader, okay, it is trying to plot this, okay, in a way that doesn't work with Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so and it says IPython is not defined. So what we should do is we should do something that the Jupyter Notebook refuses to use IPython for the plotting. So what we can do is we can here say iplot, okay, equals to false. Okay, and now if we run this again, okay, where we get the same thing. As you can see, it is creating the figure. Okay, now we need to fix our problem. It is creating a figure, but the only problem is that is not being able to show it right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove volume from our plotting process as well. I'm going to do this as well. Okay, and now if this doesn't work, then I'm going to import matplotlib, okay, pyplot, okay, as plt, and then I'm going to ask it to plt.show. Okay, so let's start from the beginning, do everything. Cerebro. So as you can see, it worked. So here we have our backtest. Okay, this is the Apple stock data in the daily time frame, and each of these green triangles, they are a buy signal and a buy that we had, and each of the actual red triangles, they are sell signals. Okay, so in these are our trades. Okay, the blue ones are the trades that succeed, and the red ones are the sell trades. Okay, they are the negative trades. Okay, now here's is our cash, these red curve, which shows our equity during the trading. As you can see, at the end of this backtesting, we lost around $100. We started with $10,000, and now we are at 9,900. Okay, so we lose around $100. Of course, because this strategy is very simple and it's not a profitable strategy, and I just used it to show how the backtesting framework works. Okay, what other things that we can do is to make it more complete. Before running Cerebro, I can add trading sizing. Okay, I can say Cerebro add sizer, and then here say Backtrader sizers dot PercentSizer, and then say percents equal to, let's say, 10. Now we are adding position sizing to each of our trades, meaning that in every trade I'm risking and entering 10% of my actual balance. If I have, for example, here $10,000, in each trade I'm entering 10% of $10,000, which is $100. And now if I add this sizing and run everything again, as you can see, the results has changed. Now, just because of the sizing, my outcome at the end was profitable. And now with this strategy across 15 years, we made around $2,000. We started with $10,000, okay, and now we ended up with 11 and 900, okay, so we made around $2,000, okay. One other thing that you can add before running Cerebro to make your backtest more realistic is to add commissions as well, because when we are live trading, our broker always going to take some commission. Well, how we can do that is call Cerebro again, .broker.set commission, okay, and then give our commission to 0.1%, okay. So we are getting 0.1% commission in each of our trades, and now as you can see, our results actually shrink then a little bit. We made around $2,000 in the past test, and here we made 1,700. So that's because of the commission. Okay, this was basically an introduction to backtest using actually Backtrader. Okay, as you can see, it wasn't that hard, but this was a very simple case. But you can just this is the basic stuff, and the only thing difference is that you can create your own strategy, paste it here, okay, and then add your strategy, and then add your sizing, position sizing, and then add a basic commission if you want, okay, get data from some data provider, okay, and then feed your data to Cerebro, add your data, add your strategy, add your position sizing, and then it's going to backtest for you, and you run it, and then you're going to use matplotlib to actually plot the results and plot the equity curve and everything. And that's how we backtest this. In the future, I'm going to post videos about how to backtest using MetaTrader, because Yahoo Finance only gives the price data of stocks, okay. So in next videos, I'm going to create one for backtesting Forex pairs, actually backtesting on Forex pairs, and maybe potentially on cryptos, okay. So hope this video was helpful to you, and have a good day. Thank you for watching.